Hi, it's Thursday and there's a couple of days to catch up on. Yesterday we went to the old city of Jerusalem and spent the day there. We were out for about 18 hours non-stop, I think it was, which was fun and tiring, but brilliant. And the main sort of thing that I learned from yesterday, or that was strengthened again from first-hand experience, is how much trouble Israel goes to allow very easy, safe access to sites of worship for all of the different religions. The Muslims to the Temple Mount, which incidentally, even though it's in the heart of Jerusalem, is governed by a Muslim authority. The Christians to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre, and the Jews, of course, to the Kotel, which is the Western Wall. And we saw all of those sites, among others, and we just saw that level of coexistence and that surety by Israel to allow access to those sites, which really puts paid in itself, this coexistence within Jerusalem, to the whole apartheid myth that people propagate. I think the people who sort of go around claiming this apartheid state thing should come to Israel for themselves, and I think they'd be pretty surprised if they opened their eyes and saw what the reality is. And the old city itself is, and I hate to use the word bustling because it's a travel report cliche, but it really is bustling. It's these very windy, narrow alleys and streets full of people who look like they come from all manner of different centuries and different parts of the world. It's almost like something from a Bond film. The air is full of the smell of spices and food being cooked. There's people carrying things around, and it's an amazing place. But I'm just a guy from an English village, so for me at times there are moments where it gets a bit bustling and the heat gets a bit intense. And so it was great when we popped into the Austrian hospice in the old city, where we had a bit of breakfast. You walk from all this madness and sort of colour and noise into this very, very calm and serene, old-fashioned Austrian hospice, which also has a cafe in it where you can sit in the garden, which is what we did. And we had a lovely breakfast, a bit of apple strudel and some iced coffee again, which is good. And that was great. And from there we moved on to look at more parts of the holy sort of sites in Jerusalem, particularly the Christian ones. And it's pretty intense, and watching people who've come here clearly on a pilgrimage just to go to these sites was amazing. And they were clearly getting what they wanted from it. And so I think a visit to Jerusalem must be in the hearts and plans of lots of people who haven't come here yet. And all I can say is, although the Christian religious sites were not something I was connecting with personally, I could see how much people were connecting with them, and it was they were clearly pleased that they'd bothered. And then we had a spot of lunch, so of course it was hummus and shawarma, because it's me, and that was lovely. And then we moved more in the afternoon towards the Jewish quarter, which of course I was very excited about, and we went to a synagogue in the old city where a guy called Tal showed us around, and it was he gave us a great talk, and we went up quite high in the synagogue and could look out to the old city from there. And we looked at other parts of the Jewish quarter, and we heard stories of the battle for independence of Israel in the 40s. And it was nice because our tour guide talked about a guy from the British Mandate who, after the British Mandate ended, a lot of the British soldiers, or some of them, stayed on to help the Arabs try and fight the new Jewish state. And there was one guy who stayed on to fight alongside with the Jews to try and help build and protect the Jewish state. And the tour guide said he was like Chaz. She might have been joking, I don't know, but it meant a lot. And of course it all culminated, the visit to the Jewish quarter, with the Kotel, which is the Western Wall. If you look further down my blog, you'll see a short video report I did from there. I spent on my own about an hour there, and it was really amazing experience, very powerful, and it made me very happy and very thoughtful. And then we went to a light show at the City of David. And City of David, in case you don't know, is a very beautiful, stunningly visual, old-fashioned city with some amazing stonework. So to go there under any circumstances is breathtaking, I would say. But this was my first time there, and it was for this sound and light show where they project all this action and all these sort of animations and films and amazing lights and sounds onto the walls of the old city. And I'd never seen anything like it at all, and it was a nice sort of way end to the day, and it was good to sit down by that point because we were pretty tired. Bit of dinner then, and then we were all off to our Betty Bites. And then today we went to the Dead Sea, where we started with the drive there, which is amazing in itself. If you go past Jericho, you see camels and the Bedouin Arabs who live in the desert really, and that was great. And then we got to Masada, which is the ancient Jewish fortress. It became the ancient Jewish fortress. It was the site of the confrontation between the Romans and the Jews. And the story there is amazing, and the tour guide Nathaniel really brought it to light, and that was great. And it was very hot. I think it was about 47 degrees there today, but we sat in the shade when we could, and we drank about an ocean of water each from bottles, not direct from the ocean, that would be wrong. And that was great. And then we went, spotted lunch, and then straight on to the Dead Sea itself, where we did the cliche of floating in the sea, putting mud on ourselves, letting it dry, and then going in the sea. There are even pictures and videos of me wearing just my trunks covered in mud, and if you think I'm putting them on this blog, you must be joking. And that was great. And then having done there, and really had that whole atmosphere there of the sulphur in the air, and it's the lowest point on Earth, and all the minerals in the air and in the sea, it's quite amazing. And we came away feeling very refreshed and very healthy, and in my case at least, very inspired just by the area. And then we had the long drive back through past Jericho again, past the camels and so on. And it's the sort of driving here, you never want to take your eyes, you never want to shut your eyes and sleep or rest. You just want to keep looking out the window because it's like a film. And then this evening we went to a bar in Jerusalem called the Jabotinsky Bar. I was a big fan of Jabotinsky myself. That was pretty cool. It wasn't particularly related to him, just named after him, but we just sat outside the front and just chatted, like, all the bloggers and all the people arranging the trip. We had a great night. Some of them are still there, but I've been a good boy and come back early-ish. I think it's about 1 in the morning. And then tomorrow we've got lots more sort of lined up, and just a couple of extra announcements. We've been a lot in the Israeli media this week. We've been in some of the Israeli press, and I know we were on Israeli TV last night, and so there's a lot of new readers who are coming to the blog as a result, so I wanted to say hi. And if you are new to this blog and you want a bit of a background on why I blog, I'm not Jewish, but why I blog about Israel and Jewish issues, then, as I said on a previous post, look to the right of the page, and there's a link called Why I Blog About Israel. And I hope that will answer your questions. And if you have any more questions or comments on all of this, I'd love to hear it. And loads more to come on the trip, and I'll speak to you again soon.